The Walt Disney Company built a one-of-a-kind retirement community, or they're building it at least, and they incorporated an IP that they seem to be ashamed of. We noticed it, and it appears to have disappeared from their website. We can't take the credit for it, but we'd still like to talk about it here on That Park Place. Howdy, everybody. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, and with me is Vash Sky. Vash, are you doing well this fine day?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for asking, Jonas. Just about to check in with the family, watch some football there. But first, we have to get to this story because, man, this kind of caught me by surprise, but maybe it shouldn't have. We brought so much attention to it. Maybe we had an effect on all this.
Yeah, it was one of our first videos talking about this. The Cotina Story Living by Disney community has removed the Song of the South Laughing Place Ranch from their announcement. As we kind of talked about a little bit in the intro, Cotino Story Living is a retirement community, I believe, out in it's in California. I almost said Colorado. This is out in Coachella, not to be confused with the music festival of the same name. It has sections that are dedicated to families that are like 55 and over, and which generally speaking means closer to retirement age. It's a one-of-a-kind project for them, or at least it's the first of its kind. It was started under, I believe it was started under Bob Chapek. And as you can see here on the screen, there's a sign right here that says the Laughing Place Ranch. Vash, what is the Laughing Place from?
Well, the Laughing Place is from Song of the South, or more accurately from the Joel Chandler Harris novels, books, stories going over the Brer Rabbit character. So that's where the Laughing Place is from. Interestingly enough, Jonas, Disney actually produced a series of videos talking about the development of this project specifically. And I believe it's, 3 parts, I think, on the Disney Parks YouTube channel. And one of those actually references the fact that Walt was so in love with the Palm Springs area that he actually called it his laughing place.
He called it his laughing place.
This was something that Walt truly admired. It also tells you that he had such fondness for those stories that he would associate those stories with this place and have a fondness for both. But now all of that is being removed, or at least it's in the process of being removed, as this art appears to be.
And to get into that, this story from WDW News Today and written by Shannon Ace. In September, Story Living by Disney shared a new concept art and details about Cotino, their first community located in Coachella Valley in California. Amidst the plans was a dog park called Laughing Place Ranch, a reference to Song of the South, which was a surprise because nearly all references to the film have been scrubbed from Disney parks as Disney aims to be more inclusive, diverse, and sensitive. The name of the park has now been removed from the September press release. Oh, it's been removed from more than that. Yes.
Yes.
There have been Song of the South things disappearing from the parks. Of course, the most prominent being Splash Mountain is currently being refit to be Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's being moved from. They take place in Georgia, right? The Song of the South stories.
Yes, yeah, around there, I believe.
Yeah, and there aren't a ton of mountains in Georgia. There's more than there are in Florida, I can say that. But Louisiana, where Tiana's Bayou Adventure is set, is specifically close to New Orleans, doesn't have a lot of mountains. So they have retrofitted it and said, "Oh, it's a salt mound. It's a mine from a salt mine, and I do believe it's set in either the 20s or the 30s." You might want to do your research on what kind of workers they had at salt mines around that time. And we'll leave that where it is. But it says residents of all ages and their four-legged friends can gather at Laughing Place Ranch, designed to celebrate Walt's love for horses, with an equestrian-themed dog park featuring separate play areas for small and large pets. Well, horse-themed dog park, there are worse ideas. But now it's been changed to say residents of all ages and their four-legged friends can celebrate Walt's love for horses at an equestrian-themed dog park featuring separate play areas for small and large pets. And as you can see right here, where there used to be a clear space, they now have cacti and some bushes.
Absolutely. Just what an upgrade, for sure.
Maybe they just went in here with Photoshop and just selected the area and used that new generative fill AI option and said, please put something here, just anything, please, anything. Even if you wouldn't want your dogs anywhere near it, can you just change that for me? And
artist rendition. Don't take it super literally. That's, I'm sure, what they're screaming there.
That's a good
But
point. Yeah, they couldn't even wait until it came out, and they just went ahead and changed it because, of course, it does say on them that they are just artist renderings only, and they're for use in concept. That the final product might not look like that. They went ahead and took it out because they were getting probably so much flack for it. I bet somebody in the Katina Story Living design crew probably got an angry email after our coverage and other news sites coverage.
Probably. This seemed like a surprising oversight, but there was always that kind of undercurrent that they could go in and change this, and it looks like they have. This is very interesting because, when this story broke that if this was going to be Laughing Place Ranch or Laughing Place Dark Park, whatever you want to call it, it was very surprising because, as we noted before, the Disney company has been on I don't know what you want to call it, on a tear to remove every single edifice, sign, fragment of a reference to Song of the South, whether it be the Brer characters being hung up in stores, got to take those down, Brer Rabbit statues. They've even gone so far as to ban the use of the Brer characters in parades and so forth for Tokyo, because Tokyo famously has held out. They're going to keep their Splash Mountain, but they're trying to claw back the rights when it comes to their arrangement with the Oriental Land Company. And they've been so aggressive on this front that to get any reference like this overtly with the Laughing Place being referenced, I mean, this was a big deal, and that's why we covered it so fervently. But now it looks like, well, Disney has caught on to themselves, I guess.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'll add to that. The Oriental Land Company likes Splash Mountain. In fact, they've had additional features added to their Splash Mountain within the last few years to make it wetter for their guests.
Yes. It's so funny.
That's so fantastic. And Oriental Land Company's parks are becoming almost like a time capsule. Also, they maintain their parks better because Japan is more focused on quality. So all of those quality aspects that attracted the Oriental Land Company to Disney in the first place is now made them the saving grace of Walt's legacy over there. I would love to go. By the way, tickets are cheaper. I mean, you've also got to foot the bill to get over to Tokyo.
True.
In order to, sorry, it's probably not actually Tokyo the way that Disneyland Paris is not actually Paris. But you got to foot the bill to get over there. But the tickets are, I think, half the price of what they are here in the States.
Yes, very often so. It's interesting because now they're on the precipice of opening up a $2 billion expansion in Fantasy and charging separately for that. That's a crazy discussion that we will definitely get to.
Oh, yes, we are definitely going to talk about that very soon, maybe tomorrow here on That Park Place. So you should subscribe if you're interested in that conversation, because their fantasy area is very is different in amazing ways than the American fantasy area.
Oh, yes. And it tells you the emphasis they place, like you said, on quality and, I don't know, appeasing their consumers, right? Obviously, guests going to Tokyo Disneyland, well, they expect a Splash Mountain to be there, and, they're going to be retaining it.
Well,
From what I understand,
let's save some of that for the conversation tomorrow, because as excited as we are to talk about it, there is still more to talk about here. One more thing that I'll add as far as stuff being taken out of the parks. They even took out the Smash Penny Splash Mountain rotary outside of Frontierland. They are going as far as they can to try to get rid of any reference here. Oh, one more on Tokyo as well. They also repealed the rights to Zippity Doodah, even though Zippity Doodah has been almost an unofficial company anthem for the Walt Disney Company over the last 50 years.
Especially when it comes to the parks division, right? And we would expect some of that integration here, but there's this kind of ideological mindset sweeping through WDI that we have to remove these references because they may have been offensive to some people. It's absolutely ridiculous. Some of this has been fomented by Disney themselves, obviously, but to have even this very small reference removed here, it just tells you how ideological the company has become.
You know what I think? I think that Brooke finally saw what was put out, and they didn't get it approved by Brooke. And now they had to fix it. That is a reference to another video. Go look up our video on typos here. Now, typos sound like a minor thing, But this is becoming a trend at the Walt Disney Company of separate areas of the company not communicating with the established lore keepers of the parks.
The one four-fingered hand doesn't know what the other four-fingered hand is doing. Is that what you're saying there, Jonas?
I do believe that is, yes.
This is that basically. This is one area of the company, I'm sure, going, hey, you know what? Walt Disney used to call this his Laughing Place. Let's go ahead and name it Laughing Place.
Right.
And then there's another side going, oh, hold on a second. We can't actually do that because this and this reason. And we're seeing that play out. And it's quite interesting because for so many years, they used to be on a unified front on all of this. They used to be far better organized. They used to have, the same, I don't know, corporate mission statement, if you want to call it that, right? And now we're seeing a battling between maybe some old school guys who don't necessarily get what all the hubbub is about, right? And the new school guys who are like, oh no, we have to be much more sensitive, much more inclusive, all of this kind of stuff.
Much more sensitive, but not sensitive enough to actually ask, hey, when did Snow White come out?
Yes.
Yet another reference to a typo. Okay, so we've ribbed them long enough on this. We kind of knew it was going to happen. As soon as it was pointed out, there was no way that they were going to follow through with putting Laughing Place Ranch on a sign there. So, of course, thank you, everyone, for sticking with us here on That Park Place. If you want to be ahead of what Disney is up to, maybe you should subscribe. I was very surprised to see this update today. All right, well, share this out on social media. If you think this is something that might be of interest to your friends, you can follow Vash at Vash Sky, or me at Jonas J. Campbell, or That Park Place itself up at the handle above. Of course, subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com for all the news that should be fun. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.